Let's go off topic from Cambridge really quick here before we get out of here. So this week we had some pretty exciting news in the world of home theater. Steve, I'm sure you're into home theater and like movies as well.
Yes.
Don will have something to say, of course, but we have seen last week, a couple of 100-inch TVs drop for about $2,000 each from Hisense and TCL. Don, what are your thoughts on this new influx of television sets hitting like bargain basement prices, and how is this going to affect the UST or projector market? Do you think this is going to really put a damper on where things are headed within this year, next year, the year after that? What do you think?
Well, I've been pretty um, consistent with my message about after doing some big jobs with the big large view LEDs. I won't call them micro LEDs, but large view LEDs that are tile. They have the tiles put into them. We did a 220-inch diagonal. We've done some 180-inch diagonals. I mean, first of all, if you do something like that, no projector on earth is going to match that picture quality. And I'm not saying projectors are bad in screens. I love projectors. I know everybody's all amped up on putting everything behind an AT screen, and that's the greatest thing in the world. But the picture quality wise, there's just no comparison. There's just not. I don't care. I've done, Barco's and the high end flagship Sony, and there is always going to be a place for projectors. And people still like that cinematic experience, and I dig it, and I totally get it. But I think you're going to see a lot of my clients just want bright picture, and I think 198, 100, 110, 115, we're creeping up onto the big sizes, and eventually it'll turn into aspect ratios where you'll be able to do a 200-inch, 235 to 1 or 2.4 widescreen TV. It's just going to change the market. I didn't know the price would drop that quick on the 100s and 98s, but I'm glad to see that it did. I mean, 2 years ago, the Sony 100 inch was 20 grand and it was 16. Now the 98 inch Sony, 6 grand. The Hisense has got a one for 3 grand. That's killer. Then this is kind of a more entry level. But think about it, a 100-inch TV for 2 grand. That's amazing. It really is going
Yeah.
back in the day. I just think that you're going to see the market change. You've always got your home theater aficionados and the people that watch these shows that are always going to hold out and they're always going to have an argument for either, 85 nit projector is better than this 1100 nit TV that has real color and brightness and picture quality. Whatever floats your boat, whatever you like, the market is going to change. For 98% of normal consumers, they're going to want a big TV, even if it's a little smaller, all day long off a two-piece projection system. I'm not a huge fan of UST short throw projectors. They're okay, but it's hard to put your center channel. These are all band aids. When the big TVs come out, you're going to see them dominate the market. That's just the truth. You can mark it, go back in this video in 5 years and go, he was right. I know what people like, and they like big, bold, bright pictures. They don't care about center channels behind acoustically transparent screens and all that stuff. If you're a purist and a big home theater guy, rock on, man. But I mean, you'd have to spend 100 grand in 15, 20 grand on a good screen to even approach the picture quality that you get from a monitor. That's just the truth, man. So you can argue with me all you want, but I'm telling you how it is.
How do you feel about the argument about direct view displays versus reflective displays? As far as like eye fatigue and long
Projectors
duration.
versus TVs, eye fatigue.
So you're not a proponent of the reflective display being easier on your eyeballs?
Steve's thinking. He's trying to have this really articulate, amazing statement back on that we're all going to remember.
Well, you know, I don't know if there really is an argument either way about eye fatigue, unless it was something that you spend 8 or 10 hours a day watching the television, right? I mean, how do we really
Yeah,
watch
you
a good
got
movie?
bigger worries than eye fatigue. You know what I mean?
Right? So, so and I mean, I think that there's always going to be a narrative for people to be able to say, well, here's an issue with this, and here's the issue with this, and you know, and really, what happens? Well, the consumer picks which one they prefer, and
Sure.
I'm along the same line with Dawn. You know, I think that the larger screens, 100 and 110-inch screens and stuff, and their affordability is going to, you know, is possibly going to chew into some of the projector market,
Oh, it's
right?
totally
I
going
mean,
to, yes.
and you know, and but there again, anytime we go bigger and bigger on TV screens, that just means that the potential market for a bigger screen on projector is there too, right? Because if
Oh,
everybody
right.
has
Yeah, there's no
110 inch
comparison
in their
now,
home,
dollar
well
for dollar.
then you
You
need a 300-inch projector
you could do
to be
you
bigger than the
literally could
neighbor,
do
right?
a 300-inch diagonal, 235-to-1 direct view. The screens that are built with tiles in the frame, you could do that right now. It's just going to cost you $500,000 or more.
Right.
So a $80,000 projector and a $20,000 screen or $15,000 screen is a value proposition compared to that from a size to size comparison. Right now, those are for the ultra rich. However, I mean, Hisense is selling a 98 100-inch TV for $2,000 and probably looks better than 99% of all projectors for that kind of money. It's just a hard argument, you know. I just know from being to selling and designing systems directly for consumers, even back in the day. Oh, can I just do a big TV in my theater? Not really, because an 85 in a 22-foot room, a projector is the only obvious choice to do that, unless they've got crazy, stupid billionaire money. But as that price point shrinks, and they're just only going to get better at what they do. They're just going to get better and better. You're going to see the large TV, large display, direct view display market. We can't call them TVs anymore. Um, Absolutely crush a lot of the projector market. Not all of it. There's always going to be a need for projectors. There's always going to be situations where projectors are the only option. But eventually, that's going to heavily erode that market. And manufacturers are going to start really focusing on making bigger and brighter displays at a better price point.
You know, obviously the bigger screens, I guess the more immersive for right now. Obviously, it's going to still be like projectors at like 150 on up. But, Hisense coming out with like 110, or is it TCL's got it like a 110? So they're creeping up
TCL's
there.
got a 115. Hisense is doing
Yeah.
from what I read, anyways. I wasn't at CES, but yeah, it's just it's the tip of the iceberg.
Yeah.
Hisense has really put a fire to volley across the bow of the whole industry, because Sony now is going to be like, oh, we got to have something that's $4,000 or $3,000.
Yeah.
Is a Sony a better TV? Hell yeah, no doubt. But to the average consumer, guys like, oh, I can get a 100-inch TV for $2,000. Here's my credit card.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's just the reality of the bulk of the market. If we're talking about the esoteric home theater aficionados, they're always going to have that special place. But in the consumer market in general, including a lot of the clients that I deal with who have means, but people always ask me, can I do a big TV instead of a projector? And now a lot of that is because they haven't seen a modern projector, a laser projector with a mad VR and all that. And they're going by what they see at the sports bar when they're eating chicken wings, which isn't really a fair evaluation. But I'm pretty sure if you take the average consumer and take a 120-inch screen and a 110-inch TV, set them side by side and let people watch them, I would say that 95 out of 100 people are going to want the TV.
And the question is for you guys. How do you guys think the TVs, these large TVs, are going to affect projectors? Leave your comments down below and let us know. Thanks for watching, guys. Like, share, and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next video.
You guys are awesome.